Hey everyone, my name is Wes, and welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. I created this original horror music to add to the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to leave your own comments, and when you're done watching, check the description if you'd like to listen to my music without the commentary. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
Back in 2019, I worked for Domino's. It was my first night. I was just starting out. I was only working there because I needed the money for college, supplies for my dorm, etc. And so that night I was being trained. When you're being trained, you're accompanied by the manager on your first few deliveries to see how you do and evaluate you and train you. It was late, around 8 o'clock, and we got an order. Our store wasn't electronic like they are today. We couldn't see where the locations were on a big TV. We had to go look them up on our phones for directions. We got the directions and the pizza. I still remember the order.
Have you ever had a delivery type job? I remember back in the day when I was applying for jobs. It was around college, but or maybe even high school. I can't even remember at this point, but I remember applying to a Pizza Hut job, and I'm actually quite glad I didn't get it because it is a lot of wear and tear on your car. So yeah, just delivery jobs in general are a lot of wear and tear on your car, and just a random thought I had. But anyways,
4 large pizzas with 2 bottles of Pib. We load them into the car, and it was my car since I was the one being evaluated. So it was me, my manager, and another trainee who I didn't know. The house we were heading towards was way out of the way in the middle of nowhere. My town was old though, so it was fairly common to go miles without anything. It took us around 15 to 20 minutes to get there. The house looked old, really old. It was an old 2-story home, and it was completely run down. The wood was chipping, some of the windows had boards on them. It was not...
already, from all the stories I've watched on this channel, and I've watched quite a lot of them, anytime that these people go to a run-down looking house, it's never good. Just saying, it's never good.
the house you'd expect people to be living in. I remember asking my manager if we had to go up there, and he told both of us yes, but that he'd come with us and hand them the pizzas and sodas. I hesitantly got out of the car and noticed that the other guy who was new was very nervous as well about walking to that front door. We finally started making our way to it when the other trainee said he thought he saw someone watching us from the furthest window from us, upstairs. Our manager told him he's just paranoid and that this shouldn't take more than a minute or two, making sure to tell us to stay calm and be nice.
I would think that would be pretty weird, wouldn't you? If you thought you saw someone watching you from a window in the house, I think that would be kind of spooky.
I don't know how I had the courage to ring the bell, but I did, which of course didn't work. So my manager pounded on the door. No answer. We waited about 15 seconds and knocked again, harder this time. Still no answer. We were all getting impatient, and there was a smell of something rotten. We couldn't tell if it was the house or if something inside had died. Finally, after about a minute of impatiently waiting, someone opens the door, but not completely. They open the door only showing part of their face and asking who we were and what we wanted. My manager said we had their pizza. The guy quickly unlocked the door and acted all friendly towards us. It freaked the 3 of us out. It was an older gentleman, in his 50s at least. He told us it took him a while to open the door because it's hard for him to get around or some shit. Our manager handed him the receipt and asked if he was paying with cash.
So already I'm getting pretty weird vibes, aren't you? We have the fact that the house is completely run down, and we have that creepy guy in the window staring out, and a deathly smell coming from inside. I think it's all sounding pretty weird.
Or a check. The man told us he'd be back with the money. He left the front door open, so I looked around to see what the house looked like inside. Empty. Completely empty. No furniture or anything in that house. Just the floor and a couple of blankets. Obviously this guy was homeless and was just living here since no one else was. That's when we heard footsteps coming from upstairs. More than one person too. That's when we got uncomfortable about the situation. The realization of what the other employees said became true. Someone was probably watching us as we walked to the front door. My manager yelled out if the man had the money yet, but he never got a response back. The footsteps stopped. Everything just stopped. It became silent. You could just hear the three of us breathing. My manager told us to stay at the front door in case the man came back, and that he'd go around the house to see if the man needed help or something. We nodded at him and he walked towards the back. The two of us heard footsteps, but not from upstairs. They were coming from below us somehow. We both looked completely puzzled and confused, and honestly uneasy about this entire situation. That's when we heard our manager scream and heard frantic running. He ran to the front of the house where both of us were and told us to go back into the car and that we're leaving. I've never driven a car faster in my life. My manager explained to us that when he was walking around to the back, he saw a group of people in the darkness surrounding a sort of makeshift campfire, but it was very small. He got closer to them and noticed in the middle was a baby deer.
Alright, right there, that is some creepy cult shit. Like, I don't even know what they were doing or what they were planning with that poor baby deer. Maybe it was some kind of black magic or something, who knows, but yeah, I mean, I would have gotten out of there probably long before that, but I guess when your manager is with you, you have to kind of do what the manager says, especially if it's on your first day of the job. But I feel like the manager got out of there pretty okay, well, like at the right time. I don't know, would you have insisted that to your manager that you would have left even sooner than that? What would you have done?
The group of men were sitting around laughing at it as if they found it funny. The minute he said that, my heart almost stopped. The new guy and I quit right after, and I heard the manager quit a month after this. I'd never worked a delivery job again. Obviously, we walked into some kind of cult meeting, and I'm just glad we left when we did.
Yeah, so I definitely think that this is a creepy story, for sure. And the fact that they were laughing at the baby deer in the fire is kind of sick, in my opinion. But there are a lot of sick people out there, and you really just have to go into these different situations really cautiously, you know? Like, if you get to wherever you're going, and it's a run-down house, then I already think that red flag should be going up, because, like I said before, in all the stories that I've watched on this channel, it's always a red flag when it's a rundown house. Like, it never ends well. So always just be cautious and have your guard up when you're going into unfamiliar territory. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode, and I will see you in the next video.